morning. My name is Melissa Bell. I live at 6382 Beaver River Road in Duluth. It's a new year. I look forward to working with you guys again. As to the 2 bites of an apple, our issue has not been addressed, so we'll take as many bites as we need. As always, the 6464 Friedenberg Lake Road conditional use permit is invalid and needs to be null and void per ordinance 62. That is a fact. I've given you the evidence. It's been recently stated at multiple commissioner meetings regarding us speaking that the commissioners should put this issue to bed, that we should stay within our community when we speak, that these pits were thoroughly inspected. One of the commissioners spends 50 to 60% of his or her time on the planning commission. That seems like a lot of time for a commissioner to not be in his or her own job. We stand by, it was stated that you guys stand by and listen to lies and innuendos that were attacking people. That's all very, very strong language. We've had letters read aloud about that we're slandering people, that we are harassing people to the point where they don't feel safe in their own homes with no proof whatsoever. There was a resident this year that there was some issues on the shoreland, and a neighbor complained. He had to not only reclaim that area, he had to pay a fee for it. It's a huge double standard. I have done formal complaints also, and I get nowhere. I get told that I'm lying, that I'm making it up. But as you see from this colorful document, these are all the gravel pits in Friedenberg Township. And I've done many data requests. And I had to actually go down and itemize parcel numbers because it was, I don't know what you want to call it, but some of the companies only had one parcel number, and it was, when you actually look at it, multiple parcel numbers are being dug on, but only one was being written on. That doesn't seem fair. There is a gravel pit named Clearwater Farms. They got written up and cited for reclamation. This actually should be a wonderful example how they responded of how our planning department should be inspecting. They have pictures upon pictures of how they fixed it. A bill of almost $15,000 to reclaim what they are required by law and the ordinance to reclaim. So I've shown you that one company is being favored by having their parcels ignored. And there is one other company that has multiple parcels, and all of theirs were documented in the report. So why should that be okay for one company to have this treatment? I don't know why it's being said that I'm lying or fabricating information when it's all right here in writing. Everything I've ever said has been in writing. So lies and fabrications come from someone saying something and not being able to show the truth. Again, it's offensive because I spend a lot of time doing my homework on this stuff, a lot of time, because I would never want to speak mistruth. I have filed a complaint with the new sheriff. There's some videos for you guys to look at, documents for you to look at and review. Again, if they're not true, please let me know. But to this point, I've been speaking since June, and I have not been told what I'm lying about. I just get told that I'm lying, or you guys get told that I'm lying. It's very offensive to me. It really, really is. I hold a very high standard of integrity. Also, I know, was it January 13th, you guys are revising Ordinance 62. If you don't want people like me here on the next fight that we have, you know what? Change your ordinance. The first paragraph where it talks about safety, health, general welfare, just remove it completely. Because what I learned at the hearing was that they don't care about that. They care about facts only. Apparently health, safety, and general welfare are not facts. They are guidelines and feel-good, fluffy words. Take out the terms shall, must, and will in the whole ordinance and put will or put maybe if we feel like it, if it's not a friend of ours, put something different in the ordinance. Because that takes away any power I have or anybody else has to ask you to do your job. Take out the concrete language if you're not going to follow it. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you all.
Thank you. Next up, we have Clayton. Whoop.
Got it by a purse.
Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Clay Sitch, and I serve on the Friedberg Town Board, and I wish you all a happy new year and hope you had a good holiday. First thing I wanted to address during this process, and this is going on nearly 3 years, so we're a little bit persistent. So we have been, there's a word called gaslighting. And gaslighting was word of the year in 2022. And that's exactly what has been happening to our town. It's really divided our town in terms of gravel pits. We did not make it an issue when I ran for election. We didn't bring it up at all. It was not part of any of our information. And we would just as soon forget it. They talk about, one of the commissioners talks about things being inspected. Sometimes it's a site visit, sometimes it's inspection, but they're never complete. And in many cases, there's no paperwork. So my only conclusion is that the inspections were probably with two individuals. One being one of the county commissioners and the other one being Stevie Wonder. Because when you go in, it's pretty overwhelming at the two pits that I'm talking about that are really out of sorts. The older family, and I have spoken to this before, have done a tremendous job. And they have kept up from day one. Nobody ever said anything bad about Clearwater and the older family. And they have run a clean operation. They were the only ones that actually they built a pit on one of their old pit sites and restored that. They're a good operator. And they're one of the ones that are being penalized. But the bad ones, no, 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 hands off. The other thing that I would like to address is the unfortunate incident that happened in Thanksgiving to one of our residents. And one of the commissioners mentioned that the whole fault of what happened to that resident was probably my fault or the people that were protesting against gravel pits. I'm going to tell you something. That commissioner that said that, I know he does not have the training to make that assumption. And the reason I can tell you that, because I have two children that are doctors, and I know what it takes to become a doctor. I also have one child that's an RN, and I know it becomes that. It takes a lot of medical training. They have to be good from the time they're like first day in school till they're about 32 to 34 years old before they start making money. It's a very expensive process, which I have participated in. So to make it other people's fault for his irresponsibility makes me feel bad. I thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Boyce Anderson. Welcome.
Bruce Anderson, 4929 Fish Lake Road. I brought the conditional use permit that was issued from Lakehead LTI Holdings. This is kind of where it started going south. There's a list of questions. If you answered yes to any of the project information questions above, it's required that you submit a copy of a separate commit to constructor's certificate of compliance approval. That wasn't done. It went south from here. County commissioners are elected officials who oversee county activities and work to ensure that citizens' concerns are met. Citizens' concerns are not met when this goes on. They are not met. It went south from here. The septic permit was not in compliance at time of application and upon approval of the CUP. and the sale of the land occurred on July 14th, but the CUP was granted on July 1st. LTI Holding was not the owner of 6464 Friedenberg Lake Road at the time of application and time of CUP approval. It went south from here. You've woven quite a web. And I understand it's really difficult to unravel a web. I understand that. You're all adults, you're all commissioners. Unravel the web.